Hey, what's up guys, Ben here and welcome back to the OnlyAccies YouTube channel. Accies played Celtic at the weekend and lost 4-1 at home. However, the scoreline does not justify the performance. I thought Accies were fantastic and held Celtic for 80 minutes even though they were down to 10 men for the majority of them. Now, there's a few incidents I want to touch on first before we go on to the St Mirren game midweek. So let's go into them. First off, yes, Jamie Hamilton should have been sent off. That is a clear goal scoring opportunity that he denied Leigh Griffiths. However, Leigh Griffiths should not have been on the pitch. Leigh Griffiths was involved in a tangle, let's call it, with Accies defender Sam Woods, where Leigh Griffiths quite clearly stamped on Sam Woods. Brian Rice came out in the media and said that it was a stamp. He believes it's a stamp anyway, and he thinks the referee got it wrong, which is great to see, our manager standing up for the team. So he wasn't sent off for that, but was given a yellow card. Now, next up, he then was running through. Alex Gogic barely had any contact with him and he threw himself to the ground, which the referee judged to be a dive, which he didn't stop play and did not book Leigh Griffiths. Now that's a second bookable offence, and again, he should have been sent off. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this. I did most of it on Twitter, which you can follow me at, and see all the tweets I said there. Overall, I think Celtic deserved to win the game. I have no qualms with that whatsoever. However, I do think the referee made some really poor choices and got a lot of them wrong, and that would have changed the perplexity of the game. However, like I said, I'm not going to focus on that. We're focusing on the next game, which is St Mirren. So this is Accies' biggest game of the season so far. We find ourselves at the foot of the table with just a goal separating us and Hearts, who sit in 11th. Now, Hearts look as if they are really improving. They made plenty of buys in the January transfer window, and Stendhal looks to be getting it right. They're starting to pick up points and starting to put in performances, which means Accies need to do the same, and St Mirren is a great place to start. Now, St Mirren had a great start against Hibernian but ended up drawing the game, so it shows that their performances are also picking up. It's Accies who need to follow suit. Now this, like I said, is the biggest game of the season so far, so we need our strongest lineup, and for me, this is how the team should line up, and this is if everybody is fit. Now obviously Jamie Hamilton is suspended, so he's not involved. My lineup would be Luke Southwood, Anna McGowan right back, Scott McMahon left back, Brian Easton and Sam Woods in the middle. Now Brian Easton, the rumour was he was supposed to start against Celtic, however picked up his injury reoccurred in training, and so Jamie Hamilton, who wasn't actually meant to be in the squad at all, ended up being brought in with Sean Want remaining on the bench, who then eventually came into the game later on. I think if he's fit, Brian Easton plays. We have missed his experience at the back. Yes, he is slow, but with a good young player next to him like Sam Woods, I reckon that's how Brian Easton plays best, when he has someone to guide through the game, and that's what young players need at the moment. In midfield, Gogic, Martin and Alston, the same midfield that took on Celtic. Now, I thought Gogic was absolutely immense, and in my opinion, even though Ogdenpo got the goal and put in a very good performance, I think Gogic was man of the match. He won absolutely everything in the air. He was constantly a thorn in Celtic's side. He broke down multiple attacks. For me, he was man of the match, and I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Blair Alston is one of the ones where I can bring in and out. I think I'm not 100% set on that yet, and Will Collar comes out the team completely for me on the bench. So I'm going for a 4-3-3 almost, with Gogic sitting and Martin and Alston just ahead of him. Now up top, this is where it gets weird, because if Ogdenpo can continue that performance he had against Celtic, he starts for me up top, with Templeton to the left and Mikael Miller to the right, or possibly Lewis Smith, depending on injuries. Mikael Miller was injured for Celtic. Lewis Smith looks to be kind of in and out the team. He doesn't look to be as consistent as he was at the start of the season. But for me, Miller on the right, Templeton on the left, and then Ogdenpo through the middle. Now, I am willing to change that and update it. Part of me wants to go a 4-4-2, just a standard. The same back four with Gogic and Martin in the middle. Templeton on the left, Miller on the right, and then Moyo and Ogdenpo up top, either of which I will be happy with. However, it's Accies, that probably isn't going to be the case. So tomorrow night, Hearts are at home to Kilmarnock, while Accies go away to St Mirren, and this is huge. If Accies win and Hearts drop points, Accies will go out of the playoff place and sit in 10th. Now that's if Hearts drop points against Killie at home. However, Killie only just got their first one under Alex Dyer the other week, and I don't really see them dropping any points at the moment, Hearts. So I'm going to say Hearts will win that game. If they do, then they will go 10th. If Accies beats St Mirren and Hearts win, Accies will go 11th into the playoff places, and St Mirren will drop to the foot of the table, which is what we want to see. Now, that's the most optimistic we can get, I think. However, if St Mirren win, it's seriously winning, because that would then cut us adrift from Hearts if they pick up points, and that's the last thing we want to do, because when you cut yourself adrift at the bottom of the table, it's so hard to claw them back, and you saw Hearts doing that recently because they picked up so many points and put in some good performances. But Hearts have the money to spend, and that's what they did in the January transfer window. They also have a better calibre of player at the moment, but all Accies fans know we cannot rely on other teams' performances to keep us up in the league. We need to win the games that we need to win, starting with St Mirren. If I'm going to go with a prediction, I'm going to predict Accies winning 2-1. I think St Mirren will score. They're scoring goals recently, so I would definitely put them to score, but I think if we can have the same energy and the same performance we had for the first 80 minutes against Celtic, we will beat St Mirren. I do really want to see Ogden Poe get a goal, but he's very hit or miss recently. I would love to see David Templeton score on his first start back. That would be fantastic. When he came off the bench against Celtic, you could see it was a last throw of the dice, because you knew the ball fell to him. The first thing you're going to do is try and take on a man, and that's obviously what they wanted from him. But I think starting him against St Mirren is probably the best thing we can get. I think he is fit. I'm sure he is, because he's been starting. He's been in and out of the games for Burton and all that, so he's had game time. So I would love to see him start on the left, hopefully with Ogden Poe up top and Miller on the right. However, like I said, I'd love Moyle to start as well, who get brought off against Celtic after the man gets sent off for Sean Watt to come on, which is a shame. I think his first game back, but these sacrifices have to be made, and I'll keep saying it, it's the most important game, so all Accies fans need to get there. They need to get behind the boys, just as they did against Celtic, and we need to support them in this time, because this is the hardest moment, especially with Brian Rice, who's out right now, obviously with the suspension. We need to get behind the team no matter what, so let's just cross our fingers and hope Accies put in the same performance that they did against Celtic. But let us know your prediction down in the comments below, or jump over to our social media, all of which is linked in the description, to tell us what you think. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll give you my match review and hopefully some fan interviews after the game tomorrow night, and I'll see you there.